Hello, I'm the Brit,
I'm the wife.
and this is our Polish life, a mixture of Polish and English. Now living in Poland after you, 23 years in England,
Yep.
and me, all my life in England. I'm not going to say my age. And there's differences, isn't there?
Lots and lots and lots and lots.
And we like to talk about them. We like to talk about how our life has changed, how we're integrating into Polish life, the difference in culture, our observations, and how we're settling in. And we were talking this morning about people's outlook in life in England compared to the outlook of life in Poland.
Yeah.
And what was that saying? I did a little video on TikTok, didn't I, about the way people respond to things. I can't pronounce the Polish bit. You'll have to help me out with that.
Are we allowed to swear?
I think so. Go on, be daring. It's not made for kids, so I'm sure people do swear occasionally on TikTok.
Just before we do say, one of the common things that comes up, the questions that we get asked is, how do you cope with the people's mentality? Because Polish people seem to have this negative approach towards life. And like you've got that saying about the glass being half full or half empty. What I've noticed is that a lot of Polish people, they always see an empty glass rather than half full and stuff. And you did this TikTok video, which I thought was brilliant, when you pretend to have a conversation with an English person saying, guess what, I'm in Poland, I'm loving it, it's really good, I love the food. And the English bloke responds, that's brilliant, mate, I'm really happy for you, I heard so much goodness about Poland and this and that. And then you flip it and you have the same conversation with the Polish person. And this is the exact words are like from life, taken from life. We heard it multiple times. It's like, kurwa mać, pojebało cię, ja pierdolę, to Poland, why? Poland is just such a shithole and stuff. And I know when we were moving and we were talking to people about our big move to a different country, and we're taking the car. No, that's just such a mistake. You will never ever get it registered. You will never get this done. You will never get that. Everything is like a nay.
Yeah, but I think there's two things there that actually a lot of people commented on our last video. Bureaucracy in Poland is a nightmare, and I think when people are living in Poland and they're so fed up with the bureaucracy, it just pushes them down. And it's, that's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to do this. But I'm going to be honest with you, we've been able to get things done, but possibly because we come at it with a different angle. We're not walking in with a mindset of this isn't going to work, we're not going to get this. We're walking in with a cheerful, happy mindset.
Smile.
How do we make this work?
We live by that rule. If you see somebody without a smile, give them one of yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's difficult sometimes. Like you walk into them offices and you've got the miserable cows literally sitting, and most of them, they control freaks because they know that they are in control and you need their help to get things done. So if they can make it difficult for you, they will.
They will, but
unless they like you.
I think that's indicative to any government organisation around the world. Even in England, I probably had the similar mindset of Polish people about the government in England. I mean, the battles I had with the councils and things like that within our business.
That's a completely different level. I disagree. I've never ever. I was in England 23 years, and not once I told somebody behind the desk that they are freaking miserable. We came in here to register ourselves with the GP, and the woman was just such a miserable cow. I never complain, I never moan about things, but I said to her, why are you so miserable?
Because you've gone back into the Polish directness. In England, you wouldn't have done that because you was in the English politeness. That's why, you see. The penny drop. Yeah, it was. And in England, people wouldn't walk in and say, oh, why are you? So generally speaking, we'd be polite and we'd put up and we'd nod and we'd try to work out what needs doing and go again. Polish people are a lot more direct. And I think you come back and you're like, actually, I'm in Poland now. I'll be a bit more direct.
I don't think so. I think, no, I don't know. I've always been direct, and
I don't think so.
Yes, I think with me, people would always say I have no filters to what I think I say, unless I know that if I say it, I get myself into a lot of trouble.
I think with people you know and love, you're quite direct. But with other people in other organisations, you'd always try your best to flatter them, charm them.
Yeah.
and not be so direct.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
my
not.
observation.
I don't know. I always like to believe in the best in people, and maybe I become direct when I get to know them, and they really annoy me.
You're right, because I remember when you first come to work with me, you saw the best in everyone, and it would make me laugh. People would walk into the office, and she'd be, "Oh, they're wonderful. They're so amazing.
You got the job."
Yeah. And I'll be like, "Give it 5 minutes, Saga. Wait until they've let you down. Wait until they've done this. Wait until they've done that." And so is it really different? Because what I'm explaining there is me being very similar to what we're experiencing here in Poland with that's not going to work. They're going to let you down. This is going to... And I probably was a little bit like that from time to time in England without really thinking of it, because you get used to your own way of working. And, I just saw every government official as being lazy, too much red tape, too much bureaucracy, nothing gets done. They're not interested in helping you. And I would be going mental with people because my business relied on government local authorities. Now I'm here, I'm looking at the people in the local authority as, oh, you're wonderful. We got to help. We've got to work together. How can you help us? How can you do this? You're going in there smiling, whereas we wouldn't have done that in England. So it's interesting, really. I think you get caught up in your own little world, and things can bring you down a little bit. When you go into somebody else's world, you're kind of not down, you're still up, and you try and I think that's a lesson for us. We've got to think about how do we not go down, how do we not spiral down so we become those whingers.
It's really difficult sometimes. I noticed the change in me. I am a lot more opinionated than I've ever been since moving to Poland. Like, there's just so much happening. There's so many things that annoy you. Some people are just unbelievably annoying.
I do think Polish people worry a lot about what other people think.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. Other people's opinions of them is really, really important. Now, for me, in England, it's not that important. There's things I care about, but I'm not that bothered about what people think. But I don't think you ever was that much. But here, I think
I went through the stages.
You are bothered about what people think.
Oh, yeah.
You've gone backwards in that effect.
I think so, yeah.
Because I see it. The way people talk. The status thing. We've got to have that status. We've got to be perceived to be better than the neighbour. If the neighbour gets a BMW, we're going to get a better car, a Porsche. Yeah. If they've got a Porsche, I need a Ferrari. There's this constant need to impress. And it is with you. Even, we went snowboarding the other day. We were going up a hill, tobogganing.
No.
I put an old top on, old trousers on. You can't be wearing that.
No. You wore a dirty old jumper, yeah. And what you need to think about, yeah. People do look, and you always get the comment that you're punching up high, yeah.
But do I
think
care?
Think about how it works the other way. When I go out with you, you're unshaved, scruffy. You put a dirty jumper on. There's a bit of an age difference between us as well. And you think that you're so cool because you're going sledging and you can wear dirty clothes and stuff. And no, when you go out and we have a family day, be presentable, make a little bit of an effort. And this is what really annoys me. When you're at home, you wear your best clothes. Yeah, you've got your hair done, you shave because you're just sitting in front of the computer doing your work, blah, 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 we never go. When we do go out, you either run out of your nice clothes, you can't be bothered to wear something nice, or you wear something really dirty and scruffy.
I can feel an argument coming on here.
Yeah, because that really, really annoys me. And Annabelle was in here, it was our only day out that we had in the whole week. Going out with the kids. You went to make the fire. Honestly, his jumper was full of ashes. It was full of stains. It just looked disgusting.
Well, you say that. I don't agree with that. I don't think it looked disgusting. And I think to go out and sledge down a snowy hill where you're going to roll over and get dirty anyway, what does it matter?
Did you sledge down once? Did you actually sledge down once?
I didn't know.
Did you roll over in the snow once?
But before I went, I didn't know I wouldn't because
it doesn't matter.
I didn't know the two little kids would get so cold so quickly they want to come back. But your thought process was, what will people think? That's what I'm getting at. What will people think?
No, it's not just that. It's the fact that you don't make any effort, and it takes me back to how we were when we got together. You would always make an effort. You would always make yourself dressed nicely. You would always be presentable. But it seems like with the years that we have been together, you do look after yourself. You do take care of yourself when you talk to other people. When you've got phone call when you've got the students, you're always presentable. We go out as a family and you decide to wear the eldest jumper that you've got, the dirty jumper that you have. You can't even be bothered to go and shave yourself. And that's fun because you're going to go down the sledge.
And that's the thing. If we did that in England, you wouldn't have batted an eyelid.
We had discussions about it when we were going for a walk in the morning along the beach.
Okay, that's a slightly different concept of rolling around in the snow down a hill. And
so I was right in England, but I'm not right in here.
You wouldn't have said, what will people think? That would have been, I want you to look nicer for me, not what would other people think. That would have never entered your head.
No, it was a bit of both. Oh yeah. But I'm glad that you agreed, that you stopped caring about what you look when we go out together.
No, I didn't agree with that at all.
That's how it sounded. It was different. We were going for a walk down the beach, so I can look like shit. It doesn't matter. I'm just going for a walk with her.
And isn't it funny how... And it'd be really interesting to see what people thought how I sounded then. Do you agree that I sounded like I don't care anymore and I will just go out how I want, or did you get something completely different? Because this is the funny thing about life, isn't it, Agro? This is what we've come to learn over the years. There's always three sides to every argument, isn't there?
It's a triangle, the drama triangle is called.
There's your side, my side, and the truth, isn't there? And we all see things really differently. And this is why sometimes couples can really argue, because you'll see it one way, I'll see it completely the other way, and there will be a way that it probably was. And it'd be really interesting to see what people thought of that, because I completely see it differently to you. And, we can't agree on that, but we can agree on ways moving forward with dress and presentation and keeping each other happy, and that's fine. But my point is, if we go out, the only person I really care about is you and I. I don't care what anybody else thinks.
So
it just doesn't bother me.
Make a bit of an effort to look presentable and dress yourself up, and you just seem to have it all twisted. And I think what really bothers me about that is if we do have ding-dongs, we often have the ding-dongs because he says that I have to tell you what to wear and you can't choose what to wear, blah, blah. Yeah, but I just get to that stage that I stop caring. And I think it scares me, because when you get to that point that you really don't give a shit about the other person, there's a problem in the relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that last time when you made such a big fuss and you had a face like thunder and you were making all these sarcastic things, like, you know what, I'll just fuck it, just do whatever you want. I really don't give a shit. I'm just at that stage. I do not give a shit about what you wear, how you look, whatever.
This is a really sweary episode. I don't think we've ever sworn this much.
No, but you told me we can. That's another thing. He told me.
You started swearing more.
I started swearing in public.
She has. I noticed it the other day, actually. We had our oldest daughter over from England, and we was talking a lot. And I think I was more conscious of it because Annabelle was here and she's not used to that. And every other word at once.
Oh, it's not every other word.
It was. And I was thinking, how Poland has changed you, because you've never been a swearer, really. And I'm not a swearer. I will swear occasionally, and if I'm doing a presentation or something, occasionally I'll put a swear word in.
The builders, and I get to hear lots of swear words.
Yeah. And it was just like, this is not my Aga. She's swearing so much. So I think Poland has changed us a little bit, and you can't expect to come here and not change a little bit. But I think the important thing is we change together, and we talk about things, and we try to put right what we're not happy with, and the dress thing and other things like that. You have to make a conscious effort to work harder on that. In my defence, and I'm going to defend myself a little bit, we have got builders in here at the moment, and the house is an absolute mess. I don't know where anything is. I even said to you, if you can find a better jumper,
that's when you had the jump.
Please find one, and I'll wear it. It took you about 15 minutes to find
10.
one. No.
10 minutes. And that's only because I had to ask the builder to help me move all the stuff that were blocking the wardrobe.
Yeah, that's the thing,
but did I find it?
You did, because you were determined to find it. I wasn't that bothered, because I was just going to go roll down the hill in the snow.
Because you didn't care.
No, I didn't. And I make no secret of that. I don't. But, life throws you curveballs sometimes. Sometimes you go in this way, and then boom, you go in this way. And there are massive differences between England and Poland, and the way people present themselves, the way people think, the way people react, the negativity compared to maybe a bit more positivity in England. And it's just about adapting, isn't it? And I think it's about us understanding why people are like this, not judging, not trying to change, but not letting it change us too much. Because I think the danger is if we do change too much and then we don't like that change in each other, then we've got a problem.
I think it's happening a little bit to like them changes and how it affects our relationship.
I think you're right.
It's been a bit flat recently. It's just been so much going on, and we stopped doing things that used to bring so much fun to us. We're not even sleeping together at the moment because we've got the builders. You sleep with Lucy, I sleep with Lucky.
We've got mattresses on the floor downstairs that we're sleeping on, and our Luke wakes up really early. Lucy likes to sleep a little bit longer, so it's not fair for them to sleep together. And Luke wakes Lucy up, so Lucy comes in with me. Lukey goes in with you on our little mattresses in our little rooms downstairs, and the builders are upstairs banging and drilling. And there's dust everywhere. My eyes are constantly watering and feel irritable. There's no sign of it. I say there's no sign of it being finished. It should be finished soon. And the properties we got renovated, we got a tenant moving in there on Friday on one of them anyway. So things will settle down, and things then will get on an even keel. And sometimes life looks really a lot worse when you're tired, doesn't it? When you're
it does, and we are tired. But there was one thing that we always said: we do not want to turn into a typical Polish couple.
No.
And I think we're turning into it a little bit.
I don't think so. I don't think
with
so.
With everything that is going on. So I was thinking about it the other day. When we were in England, kids go to school, we go to work, we were working in the office. So in the morning you have to dress up, you go out, you have people around you and so on. And then it comes Saturday, Sunday. We did not have a single weekend that we stayed at home for Saturday and Sunday. We always did something with the kids. We went out for a walk. We took them to the play centre. We went to do some sightseeing. We went to do a bit of shopping. We went out for a meal to Prezzo or Bencot or whatever. In here, the last few weekends have literally been us staying at home, doing things around the house, making things better, cleaning up, and just getting on with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's this ongoing joke about Polish people. What's the difference between the Polish people and the rest of the world? When they have time off, when they're on annual leave, or it's a weekend, they don't do fun things. They always do things around the house.
Yeah, it seems quite true. And we are doing that at the moment, but not by design. It's just by default. We have to do it because we want the house renovated. But when we've got Gdansk built, which should be finished by March, we've got a place we can go to at weekends. This place will be pretty much finished, or well, actually the building work will start again because the downstairs will start, but the upstairs will be completely finished. We can then go backwards and forwards. We can do these things. So what we're trying to do is lay the foundations for a beautiful life in Poland. And I believe it can be a beautiful life here, and I believe we can get back to doing all the things we was doing in England, but it just takes time. You know, there's no magic wand. You come to a new country, everything falls into place, everything's running smoothly from day one. This is hard work. And if you're thinking about going abroad and you're thinking about creating a new life there, you got to think about that process you need to go through to build that life, because you know you're here and the great life is here. There's a gap in between of things you need to do to get to there. Same with building a business, same with getting fit, same with anything. There's always steps you have to put in place, and we're putting these steps in place, and we're doing things every day. We're very, very tired. We're frustrated, feel run down.
Yeah, it's like little things that wouldn't mean anything in the past. They just
they get into you, don't they? Yeah,
they get so into you.
A flippant comment can just mean so much at the moment. Kind of, you can say something to me, and I can overthink. Well, what does she mean by that? You know,
he's so sensitive since we moved to Poland. Little things that I say, and sometimes I say it in a funny way or as a joke and stuff. You just seem to be taking it to yourself so much.
Yeah, I do, because life is very different, and you know, I haven't found my feet completely yet. I haven't got the security of the income I want coming in yet. The building work is tiring. Everything is draining. And, you know, when you don't sleep at night, I can't remember the last good night's sleep I had. You can't remember the last good night's sleep you had. We run on fumes.
So all the mornings you say, I slept like a log.
Yeah, I do, but then I wake up a lot in the night, you know, so I just don't complain.
We haven't slept in a bed for 3 months now.
I think I'm a typical Brit. Sometimes she'll say, did you sleep? Oh yeah, I slept really well. Yeah,
really well,
mate.
Amazing, like fantastic. A lot, had the best sleep.
And my eyes are like this, and it's like, I should just be more Polish and be honest. Like, no, I did not sleep.
I don't know why you're not. You see, I like that culture natural thing that we are direct and we are honest, and you know where you stand with us. You Brits, you haven't slept for weeks and weeks and weeks, but when I ask you, did you sleep well? How did you sleep? The best sleep ever. I slept like a log.
I always had the mindset, and this is wrong, it's the wrong mindset. It took me a long time to work this out or get help to work it out, and I'm better than I used to be, but I still have the little British bit in me. I used to think a problem shared is a problem doubled.
We talked about it for years.
Yeah. So I would never want to burden anyone with my problems, because I didn't want them to take on my problem and have that in their mind. So I tried to figure everything out myself, and I'm a lot better with problems now, but flippant little things like that I was still yeah, it's fine, and inside I thought, I just want to sleep. But we'll get there, Ragga. We will. We'll turn that corner.
We don't want to lose what we once had in the process. And I know that when this whole thing is finished, we're going to look back at it and think we've done so well done.
We'll be stronger for it. And everything we've been through in our relationship since we got together, there's always been these times where you're going through this real rough patch, which real hard work, where life isn't good, and then you come out of it and it's like, we did that together. We made that work.
We proved everyone wrong.
We proved everyone wrong. And I think that's what we're doing here in Poland. We're making it work. We're building life here. We're proving so many people wrong. So many people said, nope, you can't do that. It's never going to work. The kids don't speak Polish. They're going to suffer. Our Lucy, she won a speaking competition. She came second in a speaking competition in Polish. 6 months after being in the country. Fluent, and the teachers, the headmistress was like, when she volunteered to stand up and talk in front of the school in Polish, they was knocked back. They was like, this girl couldn't say a word 6 months ago, now she's winning competitions. So anything's possible if you put the effort in, and there are going to be hard times, and we're going through hard times at the moment. Life isn't great, but I look at the house we built around the corner, and I think life is like this sometimes. And I said to you, carpet day. I know we don't have carpets so much in Poland, but when I was renovating properties in England and building houses, carpet day was the best day, because the carpet fitters come in, they laid the carpets, and you look around and it looked like a home, and you're like, wow, we built this, we made this is fantastic. And I think life can be a bit like carpet day. You know, you start renovating a house and so much goes backwards. You know, you're literally just taking things out, you're rearranging things, you're knocking things down, you're preparing it, it's dirty, it's dusty, it's horrible, it's tiring. And then things slowly start to get put in place, which are better, they're tidier, they're more beautiful, they're nice. And then all of a sudden, carpet day comes, the carpets go in, and you look at that and you think, wow, I achieved that. And we've just had that in one of the houses we built. We've got tenants moving in there tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic home for them. It's going to be a nice income for us. And our life is going to be exactly like that, Aga. You know, carpet day is going to come soon. This builder is going to go off to Gdansk and he's going to start doing that. And we're going to look at the upstairs and we're going to go, wow, we made that happen. Yeah. We did. And that's just one more piece of the jigsaw of this lovely life in Poland. It's patience. It's talking about things. And actually doing this video, I know, you know, we disagree sometimes, and we might have a little ding dong on a video. We don't cut it, we don't edit. You'll see there's no edits in this. It is how it is. We don't script anything. It's just our life. And you know, sometimes we don't get on, sometimes we argue, sometimes we say things that completely infuriates each other, when in reality it's just a nothing comment, but tiredness and all of this going backwards.
I kicked off once because he locked the door in the daytime. Oh my goodness, it just made me so angry. I don't remember last time I was angry.
You were so
all these
angry.
New emotions.
That's the thing as well. When you come to a new country, you have new emotions. You have new things happening to you that you don't always understand. And you know, it's like a bit of an open door policy here. The parents walk in, the brother walks in, the builders walk in.
The builder's brother walks in.
The builder's brother walks in. The guy walked in last night. I don't even know what he walked in for. He wanted the signature on something for somebody. A random stranger. And
he did ring the doorbell.
Did he? Yes, I didn't hear that. But all of a sudden I see another man standing there.
Because you were in your amok. He was grumpy because potatoes were not ready on time.
Oh, yeah. But I cut long story short, we got a couple of minutes. I was in the house on my own. I thought, right, I don't know if the kids was here, I can't remember, but toilet, lock the door so no one can walk in. I don't know who they are. and then you wanted to come in, didn't you?
I was freezing because
was
we
snowing
were not
outside.
talking, and I decided to disnow the trailer.
I didn't know
and
she was
stuff.
outside. I thought you'd gone out.
My hands were frozen. I've got gloves on. I'm really cold. I've been doing the job that he should be doing and stuff, and the door is locked. And I haven't got the key. And I thought you did
You
it
thought I did it
deliberately.
on purpose, yeah.
I was so angry.
But in a life where there's lots of money coming in, all your property's renovated, you got your holiday home, the business is great, you're going out, you're doing lovely things together, that little thing that doesn't bother you at all. It just doesn't bother you. We laugh about it. What'd you look me out for?
Yeah.
Come on, you just get on with it. When there isn't money coming in, when the business isn't doing that well, when the house is a mess, when the kids are sick,
sleep.
when you're not sleeping, when you're trying to work out a new culture, a new way of thinking, a new language.
When you've got people in your ear constantly as well telling you what to do and how to do things properly, and you're not used to it. It's like...
These little things, they get into you, and you've got to be so careful you don't let it push you away like that. And I do love you.
I do love you too.
And we'll get through all of this, and in the future we'll do videos about this and we'll laugh about it, and it'll be great, and it'll be a nice transition for people to follow. But that's it. That's our Polish life this week. I enjoyed that, actually.
That was good.
I did enjoy that, even though you had a dig at me for my dress sense.
I have to have a dig at you from time to time.
She doesn't have to, does she?
I do. You know what? The time when he pulls himself together is when I'm acting like an absolute bitch.
Sometimes you need to, don't you? But let us know in the comments. How did I come across? Did you think that? And did I need that? Did I? Let me know, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.